what actually happens when a human being who has a big goal or a big dream, when they get into a room where excellence is the norm
Right.
from that group of people, and big dreams are possible for that group of people, what actually happens when someone is able to get into a room of the right people who also think like them?
Yeah, it's rocket fuel. It's the catalyst. You know, if you had a child and you wanted them to learn better math, how can you do it? You get them better textbook, you get them better calculator, you get them better tools, you get them better AI. You can get somebody gear, you can get them things, but get them better teacher, everything shifts. Get them in a better school, everything shifts. And you know, we're coming out of a time where everybody just set all these big goals for themselves. And often their goals is very tactical. It's, I'm gonna do this discipline, I'm gonna have this habit, I'm gonna run this routine, you know, I'm gonna say this affirmation to myself. It's self-help, it's self-improvement, and that's important. You and I, you know, we espouse that.
Yeah.
Personal empowerment is everything. However, what most people miss is that sociology is often more powerful than psychology.
What does that mean?
Sociology is get around people. When you're in an environment of other people, you're incredible. You and I both coach athletes. And, you know, there's this myth that every athlete must go to practice so hyped. They have a contract, you know, they're playing professional sports. They're stoked. They're walking into practice amazing. You and I work with athletes all the time. I coach them at high performance all the time. NFL players, the best of the best. And here's what's the truth. They drag themselves into that locker room. They shuffle their feet like your teenager does going to school. They come into the practice or the gym, they're like, ugh. But as soon as they get in there, there's 5 other guys lifting, having a good time, they're lifting. As soon as the coach is on the practice field saying, run, they're running.
Yes.
They're doing drills. They're doing things that they would not do by themselves because they're in a social environment where that is the thing.
Yes.
And in the entrepreneurial world, that's what a mastermind is. You're getting into a room where you probably wouldn't run this promotion. You probably wouldn't think this big. You're probably showing up to your work each day, kind of shuffling in, I gotta do this, I gotta answer these emails, I gotta send that promotion out. But when you're around other people who are hyped and they have drills and they coach and there's this expectation, you lift. And every great player in any professional sports team knows the quality of their team and the quality of their coach takes them to another level.
Absolutely.
They already have decent nutrition. They already care about sleep. The basics are covered. It's that you're not going to do 20 more things. What's going to happen is you're going to change one thing, and that is your environment, the people who you hang around.
Yes.
And soon as you do that at a high level, it shifts you into like a gear that it's impossible to describe to people, because most people really believe they're going to change their lives with their own personal will. And that is true until you plateau. Your personal will, it will change your life. It will get you outstanding results. It will make you great to a certain extent, but you will plateau at a certain level and you will know it. You'll be dissatisfied, you'll be bored, you'll be frustrated, you'll sense like, why do people have it more than me? And there's nothing wrong with you. This time of year, people think, well, your mindset is bad. Everyone thinks this time of year, your habits are bad. I'm like, oh, nothing's bad. You're just probably an A player playing on a B field. We got to get you an A player playing on an A field.
Yes.
Most people aren't doing anything wrong. That's the myth. Everyone's doing things wrong. I'm like, most people are really working hard. They really care. They really try. They really believe in service. They want to live aspirational lives. Something I want to talk with you about today. But they've plateaued. Their personal will, self-discipline, and mindset. We can improve those things, and we know we can improve a double percent digits. But if you want like step change, a step change, that comes from sociology. The people who you're around, that's everything. Step changes only happen in sociology. Step changes rarely happen in individual. We can talk that's true in individualism, and that's true in evolution.
I mean, I guess if you're like so far behind, if you're so far behind in every area of your life, and you flip the switch psychologically and say, I'm going to have more discipline, better habits, I'm going to eat better, I'm going to train, I'm going to sleep better, you might see growth. But then once you get to a certain level of success, it's really hard to get a step change after you've kind of gone from rock bottom to like a new norm, right? It's hard to get real exponential growth at that level unless you're around the right people, is what I'm hearing you say.
Yeah.
because the right opportunities come from people, not from you just gaining more tools,
Right.
getting more information, right? It's like reading more is great and it's going to keep you on track. And maybe it unlocks something here and there, but being around the right relationship can completely change your life.
Yeah, those are requirements for success.
Yes.
But the step change is different, because I always tell people, name a legend who didn't have a legendary team.
Or a legendary coach.
Yeah, find one.
Yeah.
I don't know any.
Yeah.
You have so many great sports examples of people going from an average team to a better team, and then that was their most excellent season of all time.
Yes.
Or even if you have someone who's so extraordinary, who can shift an entire team, it still took that person so much work to shift the entire team.
Yeah.
So as soon as we get around that, I often tell people, like, who is your team really? If you want to earn 7 figures, are you around 7-figure people? And even if you are beginning on a journey, you're like, oh, I just want to earn a basic income, or I want to do whatever. I'm like, okay, are you in a room with people, even if they don't have that? Is there openness to possibility for you at that level? Or is there possibility for you set on history? Because I'll share, Lewis and I, it's weird talking to camera, but it's like, we were off camera. And one of the first questions Lewis asked me today was, what would make this year, if we got to the end of the year and it was a great year, what would have happened?
Yes.
That's friends who talk about future orientation and aligning to that. But most people are surrounded by people who are like, well, I knew you this way in high school. Or no, you're this way in the house. Or this is your job. And so they're just not around people who are asking the questions to grow you into an aspirational self.
It's interesting because when I was growing up, I really struggled in school. And I had a belief that I wasn't smart, that I wasn't good enough, that I wasn't smart enough, that I would never, no matter how hard I worked, I wasn't going to get, in the middle of the class even. I was always in the bottom of the class. So I had a belief that followed, essentially, I'm not smart enough. And I was like, man, is this going to hold me back my entire life because I don't have the skills or the smarts? So will I always be broke, essentially? And everything changed for me when I went to my first mastermind in 2009. And within a couple of months after that mastermind, the year before, I think my business had done $250,000 in sales. This was the first few years of me getting the business. 2 months after this mastermind, we did $500,000 in sales from 5 relationships I built from the mastermind. And everything unlocked for me because I said, oh, I don't have to be smarter to earn more. Sure, I need to have skills and I need to work hard and, put myself in the right position and have some type of value that I can bring to people. But in order to get to the next level, it was being in a mastermind, adding value to 5 people out of this kind of 25-person group, building relationships and adding value and seeing how I could help them.
Yeah.
And in return, they said, hey, let's do a project together. Let's do a webinar, which I was doing at the time, and we'll sell your program. And it was the collaborative aspect of adding value in a mastermind, learning from them, seeing what they were doing with the possibilities, and then taking massive action within those couple months and partnering with them, that it unlocked it. I was like, I didn't get any smarter to earn this money. I had the same knowledge, essentially. It was all about relationships and how I built that relationship with those individuals.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh my gosh, I could actually make it in this world. I can be at the bottom of my class and still make it. I can almost flunk out of high school and I'll be okay. It unlocked something in me. I was like, oh, I just have to love on people and add value and be in the right room. Be in the right room and don't force anything and allow for possibilities. If something naturally happens, great. And if not, just keep being in the right rooms.
So good.
And being in the right rooms for the last, I guess, 17, 18 years now is what has allowed me to build the School of Greatness, build my business, build my brand. It's the collaborative aspect of other people who are dreaming and thinking big and willing to collaborate.
Yes.
And I would say that is kind of like what unlocked my world of, yes, I still want to learn and I want to develop, in interviewing people who write the books is kind of my way of reading, right? It's like, okay, I'm learning skills still, but it's really the relationships that has unlocked things. We've known each other for what now? Like, when did we start? Probably like early 2010s, right? 2010, 11. So it's probably been 15 years.
Definitely
since I've
15
known
years.
you. But 15 years of building a relationship, you know, and being in this world together. It's like the long-term thinking of relationships, whether it's a mastermind or just being in the right room with each other, it's building those relationships long-term, create possibilities. And I think that's what people struggle with, because we all know a lot of people who are like the one in their group, where they venture off and try something. They start a side hustle, they start a business, they start doing something different than their friend group. But they always say, no one understands me.
Right.
Or people are telling me, don't take that risk, or you shouldn't be doing that, or they're getting judged for what they're doing. Until they enter a mastermind room or a group, or they go to an event where they see other people doing what they're doing, and they say, wow, these are my people, right? We hear this all the time.
Right.
For those that are interested in joining a mastermind, we have one. Me and Brendan have one. There's an event coming up here soon. If you go to lewishouse.com/ultra, you'll get all the information about what our mastermind is, what it includes, the mentorship and coaching from both me and Brendan, and all the incredible entrepreneurs that are already in it, and what you'll get out of it. If you're interested, go check it out, lewishouse.com/ultra. And for those that are not sure if they're ready for something like that yet, or they want to do something locally in their own community, there are other resources out there that can support you in kind of finding that. I think this conversation got people started with it. It's like, hey, there's Rotary Group, there's Kiwanis Group, there's local charities, there's different things that you could be doing locally as well. Also, if you're just following someone online that you're like, that person's really cool and rad, like just message them and say, hey, let's create a little 3 to 4 person group and meet up once a month, once a week on a Zoom call, and just talk about ideas, talk about what we're working on, what our challenges are. That's a form of creating proximity as well. And you can start that with anyone that you're inspired by. But I really see the value of having a structure, having a coach and a mentor, having a curriculum as well, and accountability steps every week, every month, in a community that supports you, who are all achieving high things. And after 15 to 20 years of both of us doing masterminds on our own, we've kind of taken the best of our lessons and the biggest of our mistakes and try to put it into one group with all of our wisdom and knowledge. And with Brendan, who's, you know, coaching some of the biggest billionaires and companies in the world, #1 New York Times bestseller. You've sold how many? I don't know, 5, 10, 20 million books, all these different things. And with everything that I've done in the School of Greatness and my businesses and brand, we're bringing our collective minds together to serve everyone in Ultra. So again, go to lewishouse.com/ultra, get signed up, come to the next event. It's coming up here pretty soon. The dates will be on there. And if not, come back and listen to this and just apply what you're learning to this right now and get yourself started until you are ready for that, if you're just getting started. That's what I want to have people take away with, because proximity is power. Masterminds are something that I'm going to constantly invest in for the rest of my life. Whether it's through an amateur sports club, investing in bringing 6 Olympians to teach me.
That's so much.
Whether it's investing in the best business mind like Brendan and being a part of our mastermind together. Whether it's a relationship coach, whatever it might be, I'm investing in teachers, coaches, mentors, groups, rooms to be in. I want to be in the room where it happens, right?
Yes.
Hamilton, let's go.
Yes.
And I guess when did you first realize, because you started writing books and you were coaching and a consultant before you kind of got into this world, but when did you realize that being around the right people was more valuable than just gaining more skills?
First aha realization was in high school. I was going to drop out of high school. I didn't enjoy going to school. I didn't enjoy learning. I was making money mowing lawns.
Really?
I was like, what do I need high school for? I was from a small town in Montana. We had moved to this town. I didn't know people really well yet. And I just didn't have a great time, because something amazing had happened in my family. Somebody on my mother's side had passed away in Europe and left some money to our family to go to the funeral. And we were a family that didn't have that kind of money. We grew up very poor. My parents were using the 4 of us. There was just no money. So this opportunity to go to Europe was like this like winning a lottery.
Wow.
From a town where we grew up in an economically depressed town that had been economically depressed for a century. Like this is a huge deal.
This is Montana? Where was
Yeah.
this? Yeah.
Yeah. We were in Butte, Montana, and then Great Falls, Montana. And so this was a huge, like for us to go to Europe, this was so outside, it was unbelievable. And so I went to all my teachers, I said, we get to go to Europe. A bunch of my teachers were like, oh, that's amazing. Hey, I'm gonna give you this assignment, you know, oh, you're gonna be in Paris, go to the Louvre. You know, oh, you're gonna be here, you know, write this little article when you come back and teach the kids, you know, take some pictures and do a slideshow show a slideshow of your trip. It was a big deal and everyone was excited about it. And then they had rolled out that year in school though, this new rule that says you cannot miss a certain number of days of school, otherwise you're expelled and you miss this semester or the term and you either have to take summer school or catch up the following year. And so the principal calls me and I heard you're gonna have this trip. You can't go, you're gonna miss it. And we're like, what do you mean we can't go? So literally he tells me I can't go. I go home, I'm so upset. I cry to my parents. I'm like, I can't go. And they're like, what? So they go in, they talk with the principal, not a nice person. Mm-hmm. We end up petitioning the school board. Jeez. And literally in a public like school board meeting, which was televised on TV, they literally go, we understand why you want to go, young man, but if you could go, then everybody else could go. Wow. You can't go.
Oh man.
And I'm like devastated about it. So I'm like, F school, F these people. You know, Mark Twain said, you know, there's more of an, like never let school get in the way of an education.
Yeah.
And so I went and I came back and I was never gonna go back to high school. I was bitter, I was upset. I was like, screw these people. I had the best time of my life. I learned about people and culture. I saw something so amazing, you know? It was just, when you're a 16-year-old kid and you go abroad, dude, it's just so eye-opening.
Yes.
It was life-changing. So I came back, I'm like, I don't need to go to this. But for one of the teachers, I did go back and do the slideshow about the Louvre. And in the back, the high school journalism teacher came in to see the presentation. She walked up to me afterwards and she says, you have an eye. I would like you to come back and be a photographer for the school newspaper. And I was like, what? I didn't have that competency. I didn't know what to do. And I was just gonna go make it on my own in the world. I end up learning over summer with her and the photography teacher how to do photography. Long story short, I joined the journalism crew there. We all become great friends. That crew wins the #1 newspaper in all of the United States of America.
Wow.
I win second place of all kids doing photography for high school journalism.
Wow.
This group of us with like barely any computers is competing with the biggest high schools in the country. And we're just slaying. We're cleaning up the award because we have a great teacher and we're all in it together. None of us have a journalism background. She teaches us that. But it was just like, we created something of greatness, like top award-winning things. It was called the Great Falls High School Inoa. And it was an unbelievable, like she had years of students achieving greatness. And a lot of people thought it was her. It's like, no, the camaraderie she built that opened us up to the idea that we can become world-class at something. Not, you know, can you do this? Because a lot of people are around, but what about people? You share a dream, they go, well, but what about taxes? Oh, but what about you have to hire people? But what about, and if you're around a bunch of what about people, that's called like prison, you know? Yes. But when you get around people who are like, they believe in your dream, they can see it, but more importantly, they see something more for you than you do. I had a dream of being free from school. She saw that I could be great at something that I didn't even see. And your life is not just a measure of how great individually you become. Your life is opened up by gates of generosity by other people.
That's true.
Who see something in you that you never did. And I know as we talk, I know a lot of people never have that. Because I know a lot of my friends, they never had that. They never had that teacher. They went to that same high school. They didn't have Mrs. Ballou. They never had somebody go, I know you're struggling. I know you want to quit. I know life sucks, but I see something in you. Yeah. And when someone sees something in you, it's just like, you don't even know to thank God yet. Yeah. Because you don't believe it yet. They see a possibility in you. And everybody listening, somebody probably did that for you in life. The challenge is that most people leave that gate of opportunity to luck or chance or God's grace. Like that, I was lucky that happened to me.
Yeah. Hopefully someone shows up in my life and helps me. And
It was unbelievable. And then when I got in the professional world, I was like, oh, I can invest to be in that room where there's 100 people who feel that way to me. And when I share an idea, they might go, great idea. Let me give you the tools, the resources, the connection. But they might even go, that's good, kid, but you're kind of playing small.
Right.
Have you ever thought you could? So I just thought I could take a picture, and I'd like take a picture. She thought I could become like in the best in the country. Now, she had no right to believe that. She just could see a passion there. And it was only a developing passion.
Right.
And so what I tell people, if you were a kid and you had that opportunity and somebody believed in you, first, please be thankful for God for that, because that's rare. Second, please be that for somebody. But third, if you're an adult and you're trying to get to a step change, you need to be in rooms and invest in being in rooms. I don't care if you got to buy a conference, join a mastermind with us, go with somebody where you're in a room where people think like that. They see a higher possibility. They don't, it's important. It's just so weird to say this today. I know we're in a social media age, but it's like, I don't need a bunch of people who see me. I need a bunch of people who see beyond me into a future that's aspirational for me. Like I don't need to just know, like we're friends, but I have a huge vision for Lewis House that may or may not be something that you see or you sense. And I know you think about me because you've told me that before. We did an interview on your book tour.
Yeah.
I didn't think I was very good at interviews.
Yeah.
And you're like, you're good at this. We should do more. And that was really, I am. And so it was affirmational for me.
Yeah.
But it was aspirational. It could see something beyond somebody.
Thank you for watching this video. If you want more inspiring clips like this, make sure to click right here to subscribe and click right here to watch that next video that is specific to support you in your life.